2021-2022 MSJC Program Review for Instruction. eLumen Template Instructions. Section 3B, Part 1, Overview of Data Program. In Section 3B, we conclude the program review data analysis for student outcomes. This includes the program fill, retention, and success rates for courses in the program, degree, or certificate. It also includes the course success rates for the individual courses and equity data. We will disaggregate by location for BAN, San Gorgonio Pass courses, MVC, SJC, and TEM, Temecula courses. We will also view differences between face-to-face, hybrid, and online fill, retention, and success. Besides the application to scheduling, ensuring the appropriate number and level of course sections offered each semester, knowledge of the size and scope of your programs is basic information needed to serve your students. For instance, having a sense of the student demand for your degrees and certificates, knowing the data for UC and CSU transfer, and having a grasp on the challenges faced by students, both at large and from various equity groups, will help educate and motivate you when it comes to maximizing resources provided by your discipline. Here is Section 3B in the Program Review Template. It is the last section of the template. Once it and all other sections except 2E have been fully completed, 2E can then be fully completed and the entire template will be done. To access the Program Review Data Program, click on Additional Links and then Data Instructional Program Review. Let's familiarize ourselves with the data program. Notice that the data are for the last 3 years, fall 2018 through spring 2021. Let's view the AA Art Hume data as our example. In the Academic Program drop-down window, select AA Arts and Humanities. Since we just want data for the AA Art Hume degree, access the Academic Program ID menu. We don't want to include other programs hiding in there, adding data to those we are only interested in. There aren't any. Note that the option B, CSU transfer, and option C, UC transfer variants are present for this degree. Except for the data in tab 5, the data for each of these options is usually the same, but let's check to be sure. Click on option B. The data table values for term ID, section count, fill, retention, and success rate did not change. Same thing for option C. So we will leave all selected in the Academic Program ID window. Notice that 1,855 sections were offered during the 2018, 2019, and 2020 academic years. The bar graph display directly below visualizes this data by academic year. Fall, spring, fall, spring, fall, spring. You can see from both the numbers for section count in the tables and from the bar graphs that the number of sections offered has been pretty steady over this 3-year period. The actual courses for the program are listed in the upper right-hand corner. Here, the average number of sections offered per semester is represented by bar graphs. To see the full course name and the average number of sections offered, hover over the bar graph. For Art 100, 16 sections are typically offered each semester. For Dance 212, 3 sections. Use the slider to see the entire list of AA Art Hume courses. Note that for Lit 260, the average number of sections offered per semester is 1. But this course really isn't offered that often. To drill deeper, click on the bar graph for Lit 260. From the table, we see that 3 sections of Lit 260 were offered during the 2018, 2019, and 2020 period. The fill rate for English 260 was 84% in fall 2019, fell to 56% in fall 2020, and rose back to 84% in spring 2021. Note that for this period, the fill rate was just below the district set standard of 85%, the red dotted line, and the district average of about 88%, the aqua dotted line. FYI, the yellow lines that connect these three data points are a little misleading because the three data points represent the entirety of the data. There is nothing in between them. The retention rate was 100% in fall 2019, fell to 78.6% in fall 2020, and rose to 85.7% in spring 2021. Note that in fall 2020, it was below the district set standard of 80%, the red dotted line, but by spring 2021 had risen almost to the district average of about 86%, the aqua dotted line. The success rate was about 95% in fall 2019, fell below the district average of about 69% and the district set standard of 66% to 50% in fall 2020, but then rose back to 66.7% in spring 2021. For a single 200 level course, especially one that is only offered 3 times over our 3-year period, there is nothing wrong or shocking about this data. Data for courses such as these can be variable, even volatile, and will often be below the district average and set standard rates. This is pretty typical and certainly does not mean that changes or adjustments to this course need to be made. Click on the Lit 260 bar to return to the previous data screen. Now you see fill, retention, and success graphs for all 1,855 AA Art Hume courses. Consider the purple retention rate graph in the lower left-hand corner. Note that it lies above the district average retention rate, about 86%, represented by the aqua dashed line, and the district set standard, 80%, represented by the orange dotted line. This means the retention of this program is very healthy, always higher than the district average and the floor the district does not want the average retention rate to fall below. If you hover over the purple graph, you will see the exact retention values each semester. These are the same as in the table. For fall 2018, the retention is 88.2% on the graph and in the table. For spring 2020, 94.7% on the graph and in the table. This is the same for both the fill rate and success rate graphs. Consider the yellow fill rate graph near the middle of the right-hand side of the page. Unlike the retention rate for this program, the fill rate is low. The entire yellow graph lies below both the district average, the dashed aqua line, about 88%, and the district set standard, 85%, the orange dotted line. Again, to see exact values, use the table near the top or hover over the graph. For example, in spring 2020, the fill rate was 77.5% on the graph and in the table. Now consider the red success rate graph in the lower right-hand corner. While it climbs and dives, this is due to scaling of the vertical axis. Notice that the gray horizontal lines are only 2% apart, so don't read into the slope of the graph as it rises and falls that success is changing dramatically. The good news here is that success is always above the district average, about 69%, the aqua dashed line, and the district lower bound for success, 66%, the orange dotted line. You will learn much more as we use the data program in future videos. This video was designed to be a general overview. We will use additional examples in future videos to teach you much more. If you have any questions or would like assistance, please contact Program Review at msjc.edu. This template needs to be completed no later than 19 November 2021. The wraps and cappers are due 17 December 2021. Thank you for your participation.